Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here with us today. My name is Chatila, as Robert just said, and actually I'm involved in the work of AI4People since 2018 with the leadership of Luciano Floridi. With Luciano, we have actually introduced the basis for our work and the ethical framework for good AI society. Then in the past year, we worked a little bit on the governance issues, and there was a report, good AI governance and priority actions. This year, we focused on sectorial domains. It's important, of course, when we speak about AI, ethics, and societal impact, that we not just discuss about principles, but we go to practice. And the best way to go to practice is actually to put your hands in on the work itself. So we have identified, actually, AI4People has identified 7 sectors, actually deep dive and try to understand how the principles and the key requirements that have been put forward by the high-level group on AI can be put in practice. The 7 sectors are the automotive sector, the banking and finance sector, healthcare, energy, insurance, legal service, and media and technology, the use of technology in media. Among these 7 sectors, we have been able to achieve the work in a few months, actually, and there's a report on that. But 3 other sectors are still in the working. Banking and finance, insurance, and legal service will come up. The main point actually was to see how much the 7 requirements for trustworthy AI. So let me recall the requirements for you. Human agency and oversight. Second one is technical robustness and safety. The third one is privacy and data governance. Fourth, transparency, which includes traceability, explainability, and communication about AI. 5 is diversity, non-discrimination. 6 is societal and environmental well-being, and 7 is accountability. So how much these 7 requirements, which has been translated by the high-level expert group into an assessment list, so you can actually self-assess if your AI system is compliant, say about them when you apply them in specific sectors. So, for example, in automotive industry, what are the policy recommendations? What are the recommendations to the stakeholders, to industry? This raises, of course, several issues. I will not say exactly what are the issues in each area, because we will have a full session for each one today and tomorrow. And I wouldn't like to mention what my colleagues are going to present. I was chairing the healthcare committee, and we actually took into account the 7 requirements, looking on how they can be actually applied in healthcare. We went a little bit further than the 7 requirements. We also took into account the white paper, which was published by the European Commission in February 2019. The white paper outlines the legislative or the regulatory framework of the Commission in this area, and identifies a risk-based approach, which was already actually mentioned in the high-level expert group reports. So risk-based approach means you have a domain which is considered to be high risk. How do we define risk? How can we translate the 7 key requirements considering the risk, and how this translates in the healthcare sector? What are the dimensions of risk? So these discussions end up into some recommendations, and we'll be happy to discuss about this tomorrow morning, actually, for the healthcare sector. But let me speak a little bit wider than that. Of course, our work is grounded in the European framework and the European values, but AI is international. And it's also national. In each country, you have AI policies. It is important that what we say has also a global impact. I have the to co-chair with Yoshua Bengio from Montreal, Mila, the working group on responsible AI, actually responsible development and use of AI, within the GPI, the Global Partnership on AI, which started last June, launched last June by 15 countries, including the European Union, if you consider it as a country, and other stakeholders. And the discussion in this area is actually really important because it includes also how much our work in Europe can be influential, because it is the most advanced framework that we have today. What doing for the past couple of years and more. And it's important to see the room, the place that Europe plays in the world in this situation, and how much, of course, what we do in Europe impacts the national policies. Each country has its own, but national policies, of course, are influenced as well, but by what we do at the European level. Actually, I'm very glad because the AI4People framework is a place where you have multiple stakeholders from industry, from academia. You have the European Commission, you have the European Parliament, which means it's a almost perfect place to really share our thoughts and our opinions and our recommendations to move forward towards an AI for good, but also to move forward for a good AI, which means governance, which means also looking forward to develop AI in sectors that actually achieve a better society and more inclusive society and a more productive society. Thank you very much. And I will leave the ground to Robert again.
Thank you very much, Raja. And one of the points that you have emphasized, which I think has motivated us from the first, is that a good AI society means better in all respects: sustainable, socially inclusive, growing. And personally, one of the things which I'm struck by day now as AI deploys is some of the huge scale benefits that can be brought. And as you say, we'll dig into some of the sectoral aspects, both of benefits and of risks, over the next 2 days. Now I'd like to pass the floor in succession to two of our hosts, members of the European Parliament. First to Eva Kaili. Eva, you have been with AI4People throughout its journey, and you think more widely about these innovation challenges. You have the floor.